Welcome to the Knakal News Network. Knakal News Network is brought to you by Massey Knakal Realty Services, New York's #1 building sales firm.
Hi, I'm John Silvestri, Content Director for ALM's Real Estate Media Group. I want to welcome you to the Knakal News Network, and I'm really happy to have Bob Knakal with us, Chairman of Massey Knakal. Hi, Bob.
Hi, John.
How you doing?
Great, how are you?
Excellent. Okay, they come into America. What are you seeing in terms of foreign capital, and why are they flocking here?
Well, a lot of people say that foreign capital comes in to buy real estate in the United States because of the weak dollar. But that's not the reason why. And if you think about it, if a foreign investor is buying because the dollar is weak, they are buying a property relatively inexpensively here, but the rent that they collect is in the same weak dollar, their net income is in the same weak dollar. I think the primary reason why foreign capital seeks investments here in the U.S. and primarily in New York is because of the relative political stability that we have and the relative economic stability that we have. But I think a bigger reason is that there is essentially economic turmoil all over the world. If you look at what's happened in Europe and what's happened even in some of the emerging economies, things are not going all that well. If you look at Russia, for instance, legislatively, it's very difficult to understand what the laws are, and it's difficult for foreign investors to operate efficiently and effectively there. If you look at China, there's been massive credit creation, and that problem is getting worse, as are corporate fundamentals there. In fact, the Chinese corporate sector is one of the most over-leveraged in the world currently, and that's creating a marginal return on investment that is dropping. In India, money supply problems are also getting worse. Probably Brazil is the economy that's doing the best of all the BRIC nations at the present time. But if we look at the emerging economies, in the last 2 quarters, there have been 60% downside surprises in corporate earnings, where in the U.S. it's only been about 28%. So I think the BRIC nations are kind of overemphasized in terms of a place to invest.
What about Massey Knakal?
In the past 12 months, we've sold properties to foreign investors from 19 different countries. The most prominent investors have been from China. We've sold 14 properties in the past 12 months to Chinese investors. Other countries that are representative include Canada, Mexico, Japan, Germany, the UK, South Korea, Brazil, France, Taiwan, the Netherlands, India, Venezuela, and Singapore. And notably, all 14 of those countries are within the top 15 U.S. trading partners.
How does FIRPTA impact their plans?
Well, it's surprising that the level of foreign investment is as high as it is, given that FIRPTA exists. FIRPTA, as you know, is the law that essentially doubly taxes real estate investments. If a foreign investor came here to buy stocks or bonds, real estate has a disadvantage in that it's taxed twice. So there has been talk in Washington for quite a while about potentially modifying the FIRPTA law to eliminate this disadvantage. That would clearly create much more foreign capital coming into the market, and that's both in the form of equity and debt. In summary, foreign capital is a major contributor to the demand drivers in New York City. While interest from foreign investors comes from all over the globe, it is interesting to note that 14 of the U.S.'s 15 top trading partners produce the majority of the investors. Foreign investment is very high. Eliminating or modifying the FIRPTA law would enhance the attractiveness of domestic real estate to the foreign market.
Thank you for joining us today. Tune in next week for another installment on the Knakal News Network.